In a manner, yes. Of course, you wouldn't remember, but I see that legendary curiosity still drives you. How fortunate those traits survived the process. Understandable. That is, we are superior to mortals, but none of us asked for this gift. I resisted the It wasn't until after the master had burned in those flames that I understood the greatness we had been robbed of. My brothers and I had a chance at a life rich with meaning. Was it kind or just? No. We were exterminators, killers, kidnappers. You've seen the world in which we live. Humans are no better. You've seen war far too young, betrayed by men beyond your lifetime in boardrooms and corporations you'll never know the names of. They left you to be raised in a wasteland, barren, irradiated, squabbling over the last crumbs of what's left in a hellscape. Our existence has created a new meaning to this world, above the oblivion we were damned to as mortal flesh. This glorious purpose will take one last act of force, an insignificant cruelty, to usher in a generation innocent of all of this misery. And then we'll be rid of it. Will it matter in 10,000 years when we've seen the worlds around other stars and spread life even beyond the limits of light? A wise choice. I will prepare you for a life unlike one you have dreamed of in your wildest imagination.
Edge into the drink. If those we left behind are smart, I'm looking out for them.
I'm sure you have questions before you meet your destiny. This is indeed glorious. The scans of your body show the Project Brazil parasite has... Behold, human, your destiny. The torch of our salvation. They never told you, did they? The Vault Dwellers or the Enclave. I'm sure they didn't understand. This gift you have been given has allowed you to evolve beyond the abilities of the inferior human. But it's the capacity to survive that makes you... And not simply survive injuries and radiation, but your own mortality. Come, join me. There. I'm sure you have questions before you meet your destiny. There. I'm sure you have questions before you... Not that it will matter in a moment. All will be made clear the instant the transformation is complete. I'm sure all your life you've witnessed strangeness beyond your reckoning. The Project Brazil parasite is the last secret from a pre-war experiment seeking eternal life. It was meant to allow a mortal like you to enjoy the benefits of being a member of the master race without our bulk or sterility. But it was wild, untamed. The humans saw it as chaos, twisting flesh into forms beyond their imagining. They feared it, like a cancer. But it was so much more than a tool of the mortals. It was freedom from the inferior form of man, from limits and boundaries. It is immune to radiation, from disease, from death, and it is immune from mortal comprehension. He knows the true nature of Project Brazil, far beyond any of us. If you wish to ask him, you may meet him, but only after your transformation. We do not wish for you to merge too soon. Well, only part of you. You see, we super mutants are created in the vats of FEV, the forced evolutionary virus, like myself. The process renders us sterile, unable to produce offspring. The Father has long sought to fix this problem using an evolved form of the same parasite created within you. You were born with the parasite. It is part of you, tamed and mutable. Once you have taken a dip in the vats, then you too will become a super mutant. But the part of you that allows you to reproduce, that is the part the parasite uses to heal you from injury, the part that clones your tissues. It will survive the process, as will you, transformed but feral. In a manner. After you have been transformed, the Project Brazil parasite will be free to begin spawning new copies of itself, reproducing endlessly. After the first generations are born, they can be grafted into the Unity. This will allow the Father to spread unity all across this dead and suffering world. A carpet of life born anew, free of radiation, disease, death, and you will be its sire. An entire world of your creation, flawless and perfect, glorious. You have come this far. It is too late to run now. After all, it is your destiny. You were born for this singular purpose. They're in the airlock to be purified of bacteria that may contaminate the vats. But you do not need those meaningless things. Those are the trappings of mortals. You will soon transcend all of that. For a mortal of lesser intellect, I'd simply force you over the edge. But since you are a brilliant mind, ask what you wish. Indeed. We have many copies of her. When the Father was sent away by the Master, he was sent to find Anai. He found her here, in this fortress, seeking answers to her origin. She wished to destroy herself. Of course, the Father was able to lure her into a trap, and threw her into the vats. From the tainted vat, he was able to create a second master. Other Anai clones soon came to us. Some were jaded and angry, others more than willing to cooperate. We have consumed them all but 4, and soon we will consume the last of them. Yes, we are aware of them. They infiltrated the fortress using some old override codes, and tried to subdue the Father by salting his nutrient lines. While they only managed to impede his growth, they were attempting to dissolve him with a special anti-FEV serum. Of course, we destroyed this threat to ourselves long ago. After you join the Unity, we will seek out their remnants and eliminate them as well. What does it matter? She will be consumed in time, and you will gain all knowledge of her secrets. Yes, his name was Mark. He was with the Master when he transcended from his mortal bindings to the glorious Unity. Mark became the first of the Nightkin, the Master's most trusted ally. Mark was responsible for seeking our most vital experiments across the waste. He found the greatest prime normals and unique specimens. My favorite was a ghoul-like creature we called Harold. We gave him a gift called Project China and let him loose. He was a most amusing creature. We are unsure of what happened to him, however. He disappeared. We never went hunting for him. A reasonable question. The scientist who created the project needed a code name to hide its true purpose from Soviet spies. They chose their primitive alphabet as the first layer, and the names of countries after that. A dumb trick, but highly successful. Most spies thought each project belonged to a nation. They never thought to look in California. Why else? To seek immortality, the cure for all disease. They saw a world that would soon change beyond all recognition and wished to adapt to it themselves. But after they saw the face of immortality, their primitive minds shrieked. Project America was meant to create the perfect super soldier, us. Super mutants, free from radiation, plague, and stronger than a living tank. Project Brazil was meant to make men immortal, to escape all infirmity, and make the old young again. Project China was intended to create plant life that could graft onto the human body and give rise to fresh oxygen and radiation scrubbers. It was brilliant. An entire ecosystem in one body. But it eventually consumed the host. Projects Denmark and France are simply more FEV stored in other places back east. We'll reclaim them in time. Of course. Yes, this is the beginning of a glorious new dawn.
Step into the chamber, Lost One. Embrace your glorious destiny.
The war for California soon reaches a fever pitch. The super mutant father's powers grow as elements of your body are integrated into the twisting organism, and your fate is sealed within it. A new generation of savage beasts emerge from the depth of Fort Dagger Point, their howling forms unkillable and in endless supply. Many humans are transformed in the father's unquenchable lust for power. His army soon rises to conquer the NCR. Your final act of betrayal ushers in an era of darkness. The world is gradually conquered beneath the banner of the master race. Humanity is driven to the razor's edge of extinction for thousands of years. Eventually, a new dawn comes, but in a future far from here and unknown to the eyes of man.